Hare Krishna everyone. Hope you had a lovely day. Welcome to Soma Vedic Astrology channel. Today we will discuss about the placement 10th lord in the 8th house. What do you mean by the lord of the house in Vedic astrology? Now each planet has got a responsibility of handling either one or two houses. So this planets become the lord of those houses. Now look at this table to see which planet is the lord of which zodiac sign. So if you see this table, Mars is the lord of two zodiac signs, which is Aries and Scorpio. Venus is the lord of two zodiac signs, Taurus and Libra. So in this way, each of the planet has gotten a department to handle either one or two zodiac signs. Now let us try to understand that with an example. Now for example, if in your chart third lord is in the fourth house, so how you conclude whether third lord is in fourth house? So if you see, this is the first house where 12 is written, this is the second house where 1 is written, and this is the third house where 2 is written. Now what is 2? If we have a look at the table, then 2 is nothing but the Taurus zodiac sign. And who is the lord of Taurus zodiac sign? It is Venus. Okay, so what you will say then, lord of the third house is Venus. Okay, because it is the lord of the Taurus zodiac sign. And but where is Venus placed? Now Venus is placed in the fourth house of the birth chart. So this is how you will conclude that third lord is in the fourth house. So today we will check the placement 10th lord in the 8th house, but before that I have already made detailed videos on what all things can we see from the 8th house as well as from the 10th house. Please go and check that out before proceeding with this video. Also, a small disclaimer, please note that this is a general prediction depending only on the placement of lots in a specific house. Accurate results will only come after considering the zodiac sign, planets, dignity of the planets, retrogression, combustion, aspects, nakshatra, ascendant, shadbal, conjunction, and your running time period, which is Mahadasha, Antardasha, etc. Now, 10th Lord is going 11 places away and sitting in the 8th house. 11 places away shows areas of life where one seeks for gains and profits, income, where one wants their wishes to be fulfilled, where one wants their desires to be fulfilled. So, you have various wishes and desires when it comes to how your work should be, what promotions you should get, how much you should gain from it. So, you have a lot of these desires when it comes to work. But 10th lord is going and sitting in the 8th house, which is not so pleasant house, and it is a not a smooth house, right? So while the events and the situations that you might occur would not be pleasant, but because it is going 11 places away, there will be a silver lining even in the toughest situation when it comes to your work. Now, 10th house is part of the Kendra houses. So, Kendra houses are the foremost basic pillars of any chart. House number 1, 4, 7, and 10 are called as the Kendra houses, and it shows yourself, your happiness, your spouse, and your career, respectively. On the other hand, 8th house is a part of the Dushtana houses, and Dushtana houses are not so considered good houses because it has events and situations attached to it which nobody wants to experience in their lifetime. So when we talk specifically about the 8th house, it shows events such as sudden, rags to riches to rags or rags to riches kind of a situation, hospitalization due to sudden accidents, a certain transformational event which just changes the entire course of your life, this permanent damages kind of situations. Then scandals, or all kind of scandals, financial, sexual, right? So criminal activity. So certain events, while there are positive events also attached to all the Dushtana houses, the negative events are such that it changes the course of people's life, right? And it takes certain determination to be able to deal with these negative situations, because it are those are the tough phases of life. So when your career lord is getting linked to dusthana house here, so your paths of career, right, right from the start till the end, is going to have trials and tribulations, tests, ups and downs, highs and lows. There will be phases where you will be on top of your ladder, and then there will be phases which will be so low that nobody would be even asking for you. So this is how one's career trajectory will be with this placement. But it is not to be worried upon, but it is something from which you should take something as learning, and maybe start parallel work where so that you can get base and not get too much shocked due to whatever happens in your primary career, correct? So every event, be it negative, has something positive to be learned from it, and we should take it that way. So with this placement, the gist is to overcome multiple obstacles and failures that you will get in your career, and to rise again and again each time you fall. Okay, and the more setbacks you are going to get with this placement, the more you are going to rise up in your career. Now, 10th house, apart from being a Kendra house, is also an Upachya house. So, Upachya houses are those houses in the chart wherein things are not so great right from the start, where you just start off, you learn, how things go, how things are in the workplace. Okay, what should I do? What should I not do? You learn from both the positive as well as the negative experiences. Specifically, here, if you're talking about in the work area, you become mature, and then you understand, okay, I should do this, I should not do this, right? So is when things starts to improve with time, when it regarding to those houses. So here your work area initially might be in the phase of struggle, but slowly as you are able to grasp things, things will improve with time, especially in the second half of your life. Now, 10th house is part of the Artha Trikon. So, Artha Trikon are those houses of the chart where the pure motivation will be to earn money, manage money, save money, so that one can live in this material existence of life. On the other hand, the 8th house is part of the Moksha Trikon, which is more related to spirituality, detachment from the materialistic aspects of life, and doing something not because you are gaining something from it, right? So with this placement, it is important for one to follow a good intent in whatever action that they are doing, especially in the actions required for money making endeavors. So one has to have a good intent, because 8th house is also dusthana, and doing something with an ill intent might backfire on you. Now, 10th lord is a lord of work and career, and 8th house is a house which shows secrecy. It also shows loss of morality, truthfulness, because it is 12 places away from ninth house of morality, ninth house of truthfulness, right? So, with this placement, one's work environment, which includes, the place where one works, the colleagues that one interacts with, the people, you associate with in the under the domain of work. So one might not get a pleasant work environment, so to say. Either there will be an air of mystery, secrecy, betrayal, something of this sort might be there in the work environment, and you would have to learn to how to deal with workplace politics kind of situations. 10th lord is a lord of work and career, and 8th house is a house which shows shocking and unexpected events in one's life. So with this placement, there is a possibility of sudden changes or sudden transformations at workplace or in your career. So it will be depending on how well or how badly it is placed. It could show various things. It might mean a sudden downfall or a defamation or demotion in one's career, or sudden promotion, jumping to promotions, where people are utter shocked on how can you get that promotion where I deserve it, situations like that. Or it can also mean a completely change in one's career line. Let's say you were in some another industry or domain in the first half, and then you get some transformational event which totally changes your career line. Or there could be possibility of sudden career breaks, or phases of joblessness, or a layoff, suspension, forced resignation, workplace scandals, or in general unstable career. So these are like various situations or events linked to the eighth house, specifically when we talk with respect to career. Now, depending on how it is placed and the entire chart, what 10th lord is, we can see what, how things will unfold. 10th lord is a lord of work and career, and 8th house is a house of revolution and transformation. So if this is well placed, then with this placement one has the capability to bring revolutionary changes at one's workplace or in one's work industry. So revolution needs revolution is not done by somebody very common person, right? That person needs to have that innate courage in themselves to be able to stand against a powerful force, right? So bringing some revolutionary changes, it does not have to be like, a very big revolutionary change, something revolutionary which impacts life of every people in that industry. Okay, so example could be something made as an industry standard which wasn't there earlier. So maybe, right, in some industries we have 5 days working week instead of a 6 or 7 days working week. So something as small as this, which is also revolutionary in its own sense. Okay, now, 10th lord is a lord of work and career, and 8th house is a house of insurance and taxation. So, this is a good placement to be in insurance, stocks, mutual funds, taxation, auditing related industry, or in industry where you are managing other people's wealth, like, for example, managing HNI's wealth, or any kind of such thing where you are managing other people's wealth. 10th house is a house which shows work and career, and 8th house is a house of deep research, and it is also a moksha house. So this is also a good placement for spiritual activities, to get submerged into any kind of occult related profession. But depending on, we have to see whether the chart is more spiritually heavy, or based on, or materially heavy. Like, we have to see the entire chart in detail to deduce anything, to conclude anything. Now, 10th lord also shows the intent of your actions, and 8th house is a house of transformation. So here, with this placement, one has to be very mindful that one's intent of action should not be to harm others, or to belittle other, or to dethrone somebody, or to basically insult somebody. Here, intent of one's action should be to uplift rather than, make other people feel down. Your intent of action can bring transformation not only in a person's life but at a very large scale too. So you have that power. It is on, in your hand, how do you want to use that power. 10th lord is a lord of work and actions, and 8th house is a house of fraud, cheating, criminal ways. So if it is badly placed, afflicted, then in extreme cases one can also resort to illegal, fraud, or criminal ways to get things done. So one has to be mindful of how one, how, what choice one makes with this placement. 10th lord is a lord of social status, prestige that you get because of the work that you are doing. And 8th house is a house of scandals and privacy. So this is an irony, right? Like, at one end, 10th house seeks for social prestige. At the other hand, 8th house is a house of privacy and not making things public, right? So both are almost like, opposite shows or displays opposite things. So with this placement, it is difficult for you to actually get a high social prestige from your work. No, that doesn't mean that you do not know how to work, or that you are not good at work, right? social, getting social prestige. Actually, right, you must have seen people who actually do nothing gets huge reputation, in some cases. And in some cases people have done um good things but are not getting that due credit. So depending on how it is placed, with this placement there is a possibility of your hard work might be unrecognized or unnoticed. Now, 10th lord is a lord of work, and 8th house is a house which shows secrets. So, this is a good placement for any career related to secret work or to manage secret, confidential data, spying, detective agent. So, all of these fields is good with this placement. 10th lord is a lord of work and career, and 8th house is a house which also shows research and going so deep into one subject that you literally become the subject matter expert. So this is a good placement for career related to research oriented fields. 10th lord is a lord of work and career, and 8th house is a house of crisis and emergency kind of situations. This is a good placement for career related to crisis management field, emergency response teams, fire rescue departments, oil and gas industry, will and estate planner related lawyers, or will and estate planner related professions, where you guide people on how you should plan your will and how should you plan your estate and distribute among your immediate heirs. Now, 10th lord is a lord of workplace, and 8th house is a house which shows humiliation. So, if this is badly placed, afflicted, then there is a possibility of workplace humiliation due to animosity or you being made as a scapegoat. So, one has to be very mindful, and there is a possibility of lot of workplace politics when it comes with this, specific to this placement. 10th lord shows bosses, leaders, managers, and 8th house is a house of privacy and secrecy. So, with this placement, one might have a difficult relation with one's bosses, leaders, managers. 10th lord is a lord of work and career, and 8th house shows secrecy. So, with this placement, a possibility of you having a secret career line is also becomes high. The recent examples of moonlighting is a case where one person is doing two to three jobs, wherein other jobs are almost kept private and is not known to the first employer. 10th lord is a lord of work and career, and 8th house is a house of sudden gains and losses. So with this placement, one also might be very much inclined towards gambling, stock market, and basically areas or places from where you can get sudden money without hard work, right? 8th house is a house of unearned money, so you are seeking for areas of life, or ways in which you can get sudden unearned money. But that so basically, without putting in the hard work and always seeking for immediate short tricks to get quick money scheme, get rich quick scheme, all this, it's not sustainable, right? So we have to also parallelly see on how we can build our career so that we can gain something from it. Now, 10th lord is a lord which is sitting in the 8th house, is giving it 7th aspect on the second house of your immediate family and your financial assets. So here, when one makes career decisions, one makes career related moves, it is better to consult your experts, consult astrologers. Just take consultation before making a big decisions when it comes to career, because it is sitting in the 8th lord and seeing the second house, which means that the sudden events or sudden choices or the transformations that happen at your work will impact your family, will impact your financial savings and your financial assets. I will in future make separate videos with different type of planets as the 10th lord in the 8th house. If you have this placement in your chart, please do mention your experiences in the comment section. I hope you guys must have liked the video. Please do not forget to subscribe the channel. Also, please do let me know in the comment section below what more videos would you like to see. Thank you.